Hey everybody, Slade with Trinity Homes AZ out here at our Orchid project. We're currently at our framing and our steel construction phase of this project. Today I want to talk to you about steel construction and how it correlates and works with the overall architecture of our home, and then how we tie it in with our framing and we get both those trade partners to work together. So why don't you guys follow me as we come on inside and I'll point out to you some of the beams and steel construction that we have. This is a modern home, so the architecture on this is big open spaces, a lot of glass, tall ceiling heights, big spans. And the only way we can make that happen is with steel construction. We've got 12 foot of glass for our doors and our windows, and then on top of that we'll have another 6 feet of glass, which will give us 18 ceiling heights. So this is one of the sliders, and it's called a pocket slider. So remember, these sliders are 12 foot tall. So at 12 foot, we'll have a steel beam. Then there's another 6 foot of glass on top of that. This 12 foot tall pocket slider will actually slide into a pocket here. This will have drywall and framing right here. It'll disappear into this pocket. Obviously, we got to coordinate this with our door manufacturer, with our framers, with our drywallers to make sure that this gets concealed in a nice, clean way. It's an incredible feature, so think about it. This opens completely out to this back patio, into our swimming pool, our ramada, and incredible views behind me. One of the other areas here that's a really cool feature, this is our lounge. And you can see right here, there's no post load coming down here. So this counter lever is a steel construction for all of our roof system to set on. So we've got a steel beam that comes out here. It's a solid steel beam that comes all the way, bears on this post, and then counter levers out here. So I don't have any post here, which gives us the ability for both of these doors to slide open and not have a down post, versus over here, we've got a down post, a steel construction down post. And on this one, we only have a single door and a fixed piece of glass over here. But over on that other side, we won't have any posts, which enables us to just open everything up. It's a really cool feature. You don't see these all the time, but in this type of architecture in a modern home, a lot of steel, a lot of open glass that Stratton Architect had designed, that's how we can achieve that. One thing I want to point out is in all these steel post locations or this counterlever roof system like I talked about, we got to have these point loads and bigger footers to carry all the load and this counterlever pressure that's going to happen. So at this spot where this post is, I've got a very large footing that is bigger than the typical, footings around the house, but it gives us the ability to take all this pressure and all this load from this one point and spread it out into this spread footer. That's the only way you can make this happen in order to have the loads that are needed to carry the roof. Let's talk about some of the details that we have in our roof trusses. Up here, you'll see a notch out here in this bottom quarter, this truss. That's for our shade pocket. So every window, every door opening will actually have a shade. That's been carefully planned out and thought through with the architects. This will also have control wires. It'll be part of our control system, but we got to make sure that it's built into this roof truss, and it's engineered for that to be able to carry the loads that are needed and then have that pocket for those to go into. You'll notice here I've got a solid post here, and it goes up to this glulam beam up above. There's also a post to beam connector that's engineered. This is part of that design. Remember I talked about in this house, it's really modern, a lot of open spaces, minimal roof trusses to keep everything clean. This condition here, we were able to do it with just wood construction instead of going to a steel beam construction. If this would have been a larger opening and we wanted to get a bigger span, Typically, we would have been able to do that with steel construction, but in here on this, we're able to do it with wood construction. From a financial standpoint, obviously, wood construction is less cost than steel, but I just wanted to note that as part of our wood framing construction. So all of our interior walls on this particular home are 2x6 interior walls. So behind me, you see it's open. This is where our mechanical, electrical, plumbing will run into all these. And then as you kind of come over here with me on this side, we've got OSB on this wall. This wall is a shear wall. Because of this room, and we've got all this open glass, we lose some of the shear strength because of the glass that's in here. So the engineers have come up with a structural wall. So this OSB is nailed with a certain nailing pattern to this studded wall across here. Now, one thing about this is it goes all the way up into the roof system, but also it ties all the way down into the footing, and there's actual thickened footing underneath here to give this structural strength all the way from the footing up into the roof system for this shear structure. I want to give a shout out to Western Windows and Doors. They are teamed up with us on this incredible project. The massive 12-foot glass. We've got glass around this whole thing, all the way up to 18 feet. They're a great partner. I don't know how we could do it without them, but just a great shout out. The whole team, Corey with OC Windows and Doors, he's the one that is going to be doing all the install. Again, just an incredible partner for this type of project to give us that sleek, modern look. Appreciate you guys.